Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Sharon Bown, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Lieutenant Cecilia Berryman. We are honoured to acknowledge Mr. Stephen Groves and the accompanying Five Eyes CFO delegation. Major General Kim Jong-moon, Senior Member, United Nations Command, Military Armistice Commission, Republic of Korea, and the accompanying delegation. We are also honoured to acknowledge and warmly welcome Corporal Daniel Kieran, VC, and fellow members of the Council of the Australian War Memorial. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors and by students on behalf of the following schools. From South Australia, Burnside Primary School, and from New South Wales, Dudley Public School. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is birth by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Boys and girls, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians to understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Aircraftman Class 1 William Ernest Menzies. William Menzies was born on the 12th of December 1919, one of 4 children born to Alan and Mabel Menzies. William, his brothers Alan and George, and his sister Isabel grew up in Belmont near Newcastle in New South Wales, and the family were respected members of the local mining community. William enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force in May 1940, and after 6 months of training, embarked with his squadron for the war in Europe. He served in No. 10 Squadron, whose main function was to hunt the waters of Western Europe for German U-boats, particularly in the Bay of Biscay on the east coast of occupied France. This was vital work to protect British and American shipping, but it also attracted significant attacks from German fighter planes. At 2:15 in the morning of the 8th of August 1942, William set off on an anti-submarine raid in the Bay of Biscay aboard his Sunderland patrol bomber. At approximately 6:30 p.m, the plane sent out an SOS signal. Despite an extensive search, no further trace of the aircraft was found. William and his 6 fellow crew members were initially reported missing. William's family in Australia was informed of his having gone missing and knew the likelihood of his fate, but held out hope that he may one day be found. William's older brother Alan also served in the RAF. On the 11th of October 1942, just 2 months after his brother was reported missing, Alan died when his Spitfire crashed during a dogfight with German fighters. In March 1943, the Menzies family's fear were realised when William was officially pronounced to be presumed killed, a sad confirmation that the family had lost 2 sons in just over 2 months. William was 22 years old. In a further tragedy for the family, William's father passed away soon after hearing confirmation of William's death. The brothers' names are commemorated on the Air Force's memorial at Runnymede in England, along with the names of over 20,000 airmen from the Second World War who have no known grave. William's name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left among 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. A photograph of his name listed on the Air Force's memorial at Runnymede is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Aircraftman Class 1 William Ernest Menzies, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.